This is Smithy.tv.
Hi, I'm Lindsay Lewis.
Hi, I'm Ryan Goldhart. And welcome to this show.
Those guys?
We're those guys.
One day I'll get the title right.
No, we don't have to. That's the best part. You have to get it right.
We didn't do a show in January.
So, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Hey.
But the reason we didn't do it was clearly we were doing resolutions.
That's right. Our resolution was we were so busy in January setting up and performing our resolutions that we didn't have time to come in.
What was yours?
Not to do a show.
Mine was mine was to make sure you didn't do your resolution, but then that means we didn't do a show, so you win, and
Yeah! Woohoo!
I thought I was going to beat him on that. Logically, I didn't think he was going to answer
Oh,
that.
I was so fast and quick, you had no idea what was coming. Left or right.
Did you have a great month in January? Did you do
I think January was all right.
Yeah.
Actually, I take that back. I had a great month in January.
What happened in January?
A film I produced had its world premiere in Santa Barbara.
Was it a porno?
It has sex in the title.
Okay.
It's called Sex After Kids.
Sex After Kids. Give us a little
The
bit.
one-liner? It's
one-liner or two lines?
It's about what your life is like after you've had kids, and it follows 6 different family types. You know, the empty nesters.
A lot of white people in it? Or?
A lot of white people in it.
Yeah.
With the couple of exceptions.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And
the lovely, talented, beautiful Amanda Brugel.
She's awesome.
Not white.
No.
No. I think that this line of questioning is actually inappropriate.
Yes. Happy February.
Happy Black History Month.
That's what I was getting at. We were saving that one for a little bit later. So Sex After Kids.
So the idea is it's got the empty nesters, it's got the single dad, the single mom, the lesbian couple, the power couple who's the man is just not as into his wife anymore since she's had kids because she's not the model he married. And those are the different things that couples really go through
in life,
and that's what it is. It's not a documentary; it's a tragedy.
Yeah,
I mean a comedy,
and so Sex After Kids, it gets in a festival, a couple.
Yeah,
of
so
festivals?
we premiered at the Santa Barbara International Film Festival,
which is in Santa Barbara.
Just in
case you didn't know,
4 sold out screenings. Yeah, we did.
Did you originally have 4 screenings, or did it?
We had 3 screenings slated, and because of our opening night screening, which we had to turn people away, they added a 4th screening. The buzz of our film during the festival was terrific, and so we.
Do you think it's because it's a good movie, or because it had the word sex in it?
Both.
Both?
Well, no. I mean, the fact is, sex sells, and I think it did. But buzz is definitely a factor.
Is key, yes.
And we were a talked about film at the festival, and so it just garnered much more interest. And there was almost a week between our first and second screening. So we had like a great opening night screening at the beginning of the festival. And then
getting choked up.
It's just the ability to speak fast and clearly.
I thought it was more an investment to the project.
And I'm fat, and I ran out of breath.
I thought it was passion for sex.
It is. I have so much passion for sex after I've had kids. And the fact is, it's like if you've got more than one kid, there's proof that you've had sex after kids.
Yes.
But other than that, if you've had...
Yeah. Ching.
But one kid, there's no proof. If you have one kid, there's no proof you've had sex after.
You could have just stopped, yeah.
Yeah, you could have just ended it.
My mom had twins, so we don't know.
That's true. I have a second one, therefore I've had sex once.
At least.
After having my first one.
If it is your kid. I hate
don't know.
playing that card.
Looks pretty close to me.
Undisputable.
There's dispute.
So you had a week between, and then you got second screening.
Yeah, the second screening was slated. The third screening was slated, and then they added a 4th right at the end of the festival. We had a terrific response, and we were very happy with it. So January was actually great.
Yes. And so big things are potentially coming from.
Yeah, big things are hopefully coming. Hopefully more festivals, and then down the road a theatrical run, and VOD, and Netflix await your call.
Possibilities of the new year.
Well, that's the thing. With any feature, and in today's society with electronics and the means of distribution, it's so much more accepting. But I mean, we're really proud of the product we actually created. So it's not like some random movie that we got made. We're really, really excited.
There's passion behind it.
There's passion, but it's a pretty good movie. I mean, and that's sure. I'm tooting my own horn, but
You're proud of the way it turned out? You would have sex with it?
I would have sex with my movie. I mean, if you gave me a DVD and the hole was big enough, I would have sex with that DVD.
What I'm trying to do is give you great quotes on your DVD, or
I would have sex with this movie.
And he's talking about his own film,
not on Smithy TV.
Yes, that's a whole different thing. But yeah.
How was your January? What did you?
Well, thank you for bringing it up. I didn't actually have a movie to release. Sour subject right now.
Sour, really.
No, yeah. So I would like to officially announce that next January, Ryan and I will have a movie finished. That's right. No pressure.
No pressure. This is our next New Year's resolution.
It's getting a little crazy right now.
We'll work out the details on the show. Like, we can write it out and say.
Do you have any ideas?
What kind of movie should we have? Like a sort of a Tim and Eric kind of thing?
I'd like
Like, is it us in the movie?
Definitely, I'll be in it. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm not allowed in the movie.
You're allowed in it. Maybe as.
Am I the guy in the bear costume? What?
You're the mayor.
I'm the mayor.
You have experience with it?
I have experience running for mayor. I don't have experience actually being a mayor.
But what we're actually here for is the month of February.
It is the month of February. And you know what's coming up? Actually, this weekend is a sort of a three thing going on.
What's the three thing?
Simultaneously with the ACTRA Awards about to happen on Saturday night.
Any of our American fans.
ACTRA is Canada's acting union.
Like SAG?
Like SAG and ACTRA.
It's our SAG?
It's our SAG.
Yes.
And the ACTRA Awards are this weekend.
So our Tom Hankses will be...
Enrico Colantoni, Sean Doyle, Jonas Chernick, Ross of Sutherland. I mean, I think that there's a lot going on. Women, too. And
yeah, you did not list one single...
No. Tatiana Maslany, nominated this weekend.
Wendy Crewson, she going to be there?
I don't know. She might be there.
Yeah. But anyway, so we have the ACTRA. That's our one of them.
Yeah, so that's one. The Indie Spirit Awards.
Yes.
That happens the same night because they always happen the night before
the Oscars.
The Oscars, which is Sunday. So by the time people are watching this,
they already have an opinion of the Oscars.
Will have already happened, and our opinion will be completely moot.
With that said, I can't wait to talk about what we think will happen, but you already know that happened.
That's right. So this is now...
First off, Seth MacFarlane's the host.
Seth MacFarlane, I love the idea that he's the host.
I think it's great. I mean, I would have still loved Eddie Murphy that they would have had last year.
I agree, but I think that...
They can't get Eddie. They can't do someone like Norm Macdonald. I think
but I
Seth
like the fact
great.
that you've gone in a direction that where, I mean, like where the Golden Globes for the last couple of years before Tina Fey did and
Amy Poehler?
And Amy Poehler did this year, they had
Ricky
Gervais do the last few years, and his, of course,
Ricky, yeah.
I love him, and I've heard he loves me. We've been contemplating a relationship.
That's not true.
It's not true, but
you wish. Yeah, if you're watching Ricky, I love The Office.
That would be awesome.
Ghost Town's an underrated movie.
Nice.
I love that movie. It's great. It's a great movie. No, I think the cool thing about Seth is with Family Guy and all the stuff he does is usually there's elements of singing and like.
Well, what I liked about the comparison was that the Golden Globes had the riskayness factor with Ricky as the host.
Yes, drinking and just letting him loose.
And Seth MacFarlane, I mean, his comedy is so off the chart in so many ways that it's. In some ways, it's very surprising. So it'll be interesting to see
how far he goes.
How far or how much he's pulled back for this show.
Did you see the announcements of the Oscars? There's a video. It's about 6 minutes on YouTube of when they were when Seth started, and then he made fun of Emma Stone, and then they both presented together, and it was actually pretty. Like there were some good like zingers there.
Well, that's good.
So I feel like that's a good sign if that Oscar morning at like 4 a.m. in Los Angeles, what they do at 4 a.m., what they'll do on Oscar night like this Sunday.
Right.
So I feel like there are going to be some zingers like there, and I feel like he'll do at least one song because he often does like little musical bits.
Absolutely. It's just a matter of which character it'll be in. Will it be Quagmire? Will it be Brian? Will it be Peter Griffin?
But I hope it's. I like seeing people because they have so much money. Most of the people in that crowd, and they're going to win awards, so they got to be able to take a couple shots. So anyone who's uptight about that stuff, like, go stay at home. Like you're getting. You know
what? I think for the most part, they understand. It just depends on how deep that barb goes. I mean. It's like it's one thing to mock a performance or certain things that have happened in the media recently. You can't you can't back away from those things.
You can't.
If it's something else on a completely different personal level, something that's just known, but is it's like it's a no-no. Like you don't go after their kids. You don't go.
Yeah, I wouldn't never say that. We did forget one other event. The night before the Oscars is also the Razzies.
The Razzies.
Big
Those
important
that
night.
didn't quite make it in the worst of 2012.
But the thing with the Razzies is the last couple of years I've noticed when I actually read the things, they started creating new awards just to make fun of people they didn't like, and that's where it's,
Well, it fell off the chains at that point, right? I mean, because it's like you're talking about...
It's very discredited.
You're basically now doing it for the sake of doing it.
Yeah. Say if Paris Hilton made a cameo for 1 second and they'd be like worst actress, which is fine and probably is truth, but it's just like the fact to make that award just to do that it's the Razzies though. It's more fun, and I think the coolest thing in the last couple of years was when Sandra Bullock won for The Blind Side, but she also won for worst actress in All About Steve, and she went and accepted both awards because you have to be humble enough to, if you're going to say, hey, I'm great and can take this award.
But the fact that they were willing to, the fact that she's got the sense of humor and just the ability to walk up on stage and be grateful for an award that, maybe she wasn't proud of that role.
And then the best part about that is she had a whole wagon full of DVDs of All About Steve saying, none of you have actually seen it, going let's be honest, you just attacked me.
So here, watch it.
So it was great promotion for All About Steve. Not saying it's a great movie, but it was just kind of fun. But it was humbling just to see her say, you know what? I think Halle Berry showed up one time too, and I think Tom Green was the first person ever to accept the award with pride for Freddie Got Fingered, I think. But yeah, so the Razzies is the night before. I don't know what will win. It's just a matter of...
Most importantly of the weekend is Oscar night. It's the best of 2012.
Yes.
And let's see. Let's talk about our best pictures of the year. Let's talk about...
So we want to talk about our best pictures or the Oscar best pictures?
Our best pictures. I can't really say what I feel my best pictures because, for the most part, I went back to see Monsters Inc. 3D.
I almost went to see that, but I only on DVD.
Does that count? Because it aired in theaters in 2012.
One of my best of 2012 list, my number 3 or 2 was Beauty and the Beast 3D. So I just didn't want to put it as number 1. I would have, but I felt like you can't really claim a movie that came out years ago. Right. But yeah, no, Monsters Inc. is a great movie, so that's allowed on the list.
So now
you won't be winning an Oscar for best
animated. Now you've got some controversial picks. They're not controversial because they're not worthy of being best picture, but choices that the Oscar nominations made based on, for instance, Argo is a front runner. And yet,
right now, it's
Ben Affleck was not nominated as Best Director.
But here's the thing: it wasn't the front runner until after there was sort of a negativity that Ben Affleck wasn't nominated because a lot of people expected him to be nominated for director, and very soon after that, Argo started winning a lot of things.
Well, he started winning, the DGC Best Director award,
yes,
and the Golden Globe.
They won even scripts, and DGC, they won the Golden Globe, and the movie Argo. It does celebrate Hollywood. A lot of people are saying Lincoln's going to win because there's a history of it's an older crowd that vote.
Well, I think that Daniel Day-Lewis's performance will win based on the fact that how else are you supposed to portray someone that no one's ever heard his recorded voice? He had to create that character. Yeah. So really, it's
from history
from history. You have to go by notes and just sort of find himself. And
I honestly, the way I look at Lincoln, and this is just opinion, not fact, is I think it's a great performance in an okay movie.
Yeah.
And it's poorly lit, and it's just and it's really long, and it's history, and it's a great story, and it's really boring. I don't know what it is. It's just but the thing is, Oscar is there's usually older voters that are voting for it, and that's why people think, and because it has the most nominations, they think Lincoln's going to win. But I think the fact that
not Titanic, I was going to say, look at Avatar. Avatar had a lot of nominations,
but at the same time,
went nowhere.
But King's Speech and The Artist, I did really like those movies. They have. I think they're to an older crowd, and that's who's mainly voting. So a lot of people are thinking the same thing with Lincoln. But because Argo celebrates Hollywood, they're a good portion of the movie. I feel and with the Ben Affleck snubbing, I do feel Argo will take it. But also, I feel that's why the votes are going away from Lincoln, because it celebrates Hollywood. And also, hey, this is the underdog kind of is just Argo a bit itself.
Zero Dark 30 also was nominated. And to be fair, my opinion is, yeah, it's great, but it's a little too soon, I think. It's a movie that I didn't like as much as her first, not it's her first movie, but with Hurt Locker's success and storytelling. This one didn't have the same resonance.
Yeah.
For me with Catherine Bigelow.
Well, it's the same thing you were saying about what you're saying maybe too soon is remember when Oliver Stone made the 9/11 movie?
Absolutely.
It was maybe a little too soon. I'm not saying it wasn't a great movie either, but it's just
I think that it's all based on speculation, and it's military. It's like we still don't even know what happened with Kennedy, and yet we've released, so to speak, the memoirs and the storytelling of what happened and what it took to take down Osama bin Laden. I mean, come on. There's got to be a lot of fiction to this story based on the fact that there's only so much you can tell without being court-martialed and labeled a traitor for revealing these information.
Yes.
Because, I mean, there's secrecy involved.
Yeah.
And there has to be in order to
absolutely.
Things to work.
Like Jessica Chastain was saying because she's up for Best Actress, she was saying she never actually got to meet, like she heard stories and maybe, but she couldn't actually meet the person just because,
But then again,
secrecy.
Argo is based on the book by the CIA agent and not based on...
There's also a little bit of time.
There's so many significant parts that are missing from the film, including the fact that, it's not to say that they don't let us know the involvement of the Canadian Embassy, but
it's limited.
It was a significantly bigger portion.
Yeah, it was altered in the
film of the story than what the movie portrays. And they it was actually after their screening at TIFF with the outcry from the fans and the people at the Canadian screening that said, "What's going on here?" Is like, so they added a blurb at the end to sort of show how much more Canada was actually involved in that story.
Yeah.
And it was much bigger than in the film. But you know what? It's still a movie. You still have to entertain, and it did. It definitely entertained. It's a great movie.
I liked it a lot. Like when I saw it, I was like tired, so I wasn't sure if that was why I didn't think it was the greatest thing ever. But it's a very entertaining movie. My issue with it is that maybe I felt like there wasn't enough of the hostage just to feel for them because I don't want to say too much, revealing too much for whoever hasn't seen it, but there's tension near the end of the film, and I felt like if it was just a bit more character time on them, it would have made it even better. But I really did like the movie. It was one of my favorites of the year. These are just like little like
and follow up names: Les Miserables, a great production version.
It was a great film. At least they tell you so.
It's a musical.
It's a musical. Almost every word in the film is singing.
Well, it looks great. I mean, it's the musical on film, and it's done well. I mean, it's pretty. It's shot nicely. The performances are great. It has to be your taste.
I just remember when I've
seen that play a number of times to know that it was,
I've yet to see it. When I watched it, I honestly thought Anne Hathaway was like a hugely... This is kind of spoiler territory, but sorry. But I thought she was going to be a lead, and I heard she was like the front runner to win like lead actress. I heard it wrong. She's not in it that much, and she was good in it, but I was like, there's no way she can win lead, and then realizing she's actually a supporting character.
That's right, that's what happens in these.
But so my thoughts is just, again, these are opinion questions, but do you think, because her time in it is what, maybe like 12 minutes or something like that?
But it doesn't matter.
Supporting, like Kim Basinger won for Best Supporting Actress, and she was in it for maybe like 20 minutes, LA Confidential.
Right.
But for Anne Hathaway and musicals, do you think it's fair that she wins? Like, because everyone's praising her performance, but there are other great performances like this year, because she really, I think it's really for that one, like, I Dreamed a Dream song. I think that's what gets her the win,
Maybe. I mean, it's talking...
But she's great. She's great.
You're talking about performance, right? It's not about how much time you spend. It's about how that performance affected the overall story, and was it, she's an amazing performer who can sing, who can act. You look beyond her years as the Princess Diaries.
Yeah. She's like, hey, she's gone past that,
She's a significantly spectacular actress who, played an okay Batgirl. Not Batgirl, Catwoman.
Speaking of 2012.
I'd like her to be Batgirl. In my mind.
Come on down.
I've got a nice red wig for you.
Yeah, come on down, wear the suit. We'll have you on the show. You can talk about... I was about to say Vampire Diaries, the Princess Diaries, and we'll talk about that and Rachel getting married and other films you've been in. Les Miserables, but it was still a really
good movie.
Really nice movie. I don't think it's not gonna be even close to winning. Zero Dark 30 was a front runner originally, but I don't think it is anymore. So Argo right now. So
I think Life of Pi is there to prove that what they were talking about in the first place about having more nominations for Best Picture is based on the fact that they want younger audiences to be involved, and so it was nominated based on the fact that it was a big spectacular, a 3D spectacular, because
it looked beautiful. That movie,
beautiful.
That or Skyfall
Avatar looked beautiful. And
the Life of Pi or Skyfall, one of those two has to win best cinematography. Those two looked beautiful, like absolutely, like they were. And Life of Pi was. I didn't know if I'd call that a younger crowd film though. Maybe the 3D element, but it's just like it was a really nice movie. I mean,
but it's the production value, and that's what
Oh
it's a blockbuster, regardless of the fact when you're making a 3D spectacular of that immense size, because you're making it. Did they do an IMAX run of it?
It was. I think it definitely was 3D. I think it was 3D. IMAX.
I mean, so it's like positive.
I know Skyfall was IMAX.
It's meant to be a big budget,
a scale.
It's a scale.
It's to bring you into the
theater, and therefore, and I mean younger, and I don't mean teenagers. I mean like the 20-something vote. The guys who are going out as a couple. It's like brings. Oh, let's go see this because it's going to be wild. It's going to be amazing to watch because the 60, 70-year-old viewers who are and voters who are seeing these other films aren't going to the 3D screenings.
No, and it's like
some are, but it's
to be fair, you don't need the 3D element of I was about to say Skyfall. No, Life of Pi. It still just looks great,
right?
But it's just like I don't think they're gonna be dazzled to put their stamp on Best Picture for that.
I'd love to hear Yann Martel's version, opinion of how it turned out.
Yeah,
he's the author of the book.
Yeah,
Canadian too.
I heard a quote saying before the movie was made, saying this was one of those movies or books, novels that would never be able to be made as a film.
Well, it's interesting because originally slated as that. I remember when M. Night wanted to make it, and then he was almost the right person to. He's in the same reason how he ruined Last Airbender by casting mostly what I would find is the East Asian roles in with brown actors. Is he would probably be great working with Indian actors for a film about Indians.
Yeah,
which is what Life of Pi is. It's about a young Indian boy who's over his boat. He gets knocked off his boat and is basically stranded in the middle of the ocean with animals. Zoo animals, and I think that might have been a story he could tell.
But then you saw The Happening and
It's a great book. It is a great read, and it's just it translated okay. Ang Lee's a great director. I mean, I'm
surprised, because it's lost a lot of steam, just because certain movies just.
They're just focusing more on the other ones. I mean, they're really, really pushing. I still think that the top four are, Lincoln, Zero Dark 30, Argo, and Les Mis. Those are really the.
I disagree with one of those, but I'm going to wait for the movie I'm going to talk about in a second.
Okay.
It's my favorite movie of 2012.
Beasts of the Southern Wild.
I'd like to claim that I saw that in a more.
I got to see the director at a director's panel in Santa Barbara. And it's really interesting because that was a film that the money was raised by non-charitable, nonprofit. A nonprofit raised the funds for that feature.
How much? Do you know how much they made?
I think it was just over maybe $1 million or $2 million. Like it was made for nothing.
So basically, the lowest amount of money for the Best Picture.
But this director is now going to be set for life. He's made a great story for what he had, and pulling these amazing performances out of this young girl who's nominated for Best Actress.
Youngest, I think there's history. She's youngest, and the lady from Amour is actually the oldest actress nominee. So
interesting.
There's another element to history. Yeah, so
neither will win.
Neither, Amour is going to win Best Foreign Film. Let's not forget that.
Yes.
But the thing is, for those two films with general audiences, they may actually go see them now. They do win. They do win.
Did a podcast talking about our guest went to see Amour with her boyfriend.
Oh no!
And
I hear it's a sad movie.
There is not even a joke cracked in that film. Apparently, they've been fighting for weeks after seeing that movie.
Really? You tear people apart, Amour, and that's why. So Amour is actually nominated for Best Picture as well, and same with Beasts of the Southern Wild. And the thing is, like you said, neither one of them stand a chance of actually winning. But
you believe it's Silver Linings Playbook.
But those two films win because people are going to see them.
Mm-hmm.
But the movie that should win, that will not win, but originally it was very close to, and it won TIFF's People's Choice Award, was my favorite movie of the year, was Silver Linings Playbook. Did you see it?
Also at the director's panel, David O. Russell.
Nice. Did you talk to him?
No, but
Because you didn't see the movie, did you?
No. But was that the panel that the guy showed up and pitched his film? No, that was the writers' panel.
Toronto people, stop doing that.
No, that was in Santa Barbara. It was
really?
Yeah. It was great. It was entertaining. It was when you have the entire room with this in sync groan, like
It's like it's coming as it's happening.
Yeah, you can.
What was
see
his
that.
response?
He was a bitter guy who has been around for a long time and has never gotten his thing off the ground and never could break through and and he started bitching about the industry in general, and then suddenly he was pitching his story.
But did David respond to it?
No, I'm trying to remember. I'm pretty sure it was the writers panel.
Oh, okay.
But still, they answered him, but they also ushered him out.
We love you to leave.
Yeah, we think that you should get an agent to move on, and that's what they.
And I don't think you're going to get an agent once they see that clip. Did you see Silver Linings Playbook?
I did not.
I really liked it. Like, there's a TIFF. Argo was the second choice,
right? And that was the first choice.
The story I heard was from people like insider people. They said Argo and Silver Linings were both supposed to have 3 screenings. Silver Linings only did 2 things, and they said you're not going to win people's choice unless you do a 3rd screening to have a chance. And so they ended up adding a 3rd screening, and then they actually beat Argo. So Argo was second, like a runner-up of People's Choice, but Silver Linings won People's Choice.
Well, it's interesting because it's still based on. They usually base, like for instance, like we were close. We were a close second for People's Choice in Santa Barbara, and they based it on our first 2 screenings.
Yes. Okay.
Only, even though we had 2 more, and that one of them was in a bigger theater, it was not counted towards it. I mean, because had our second screening been in that bigger theater, there's a good chance that we could have,
taken the throne.
Now that being said, the documentary that won People's Choice is called Spinning Plates. I think it's about 3 restaurants. And it was apparently spectacular. So I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna.
You can't wait to see it.
No, I can't wait to see it. I mean, I can't feel bad about losing to something. I mean, because the fact is, if the audience feels that way,
you can't
argue with the
too much.
Why would I want to argue? I mean, I want to see what the people want to see.
I
want to make what the people want to see.
You still technically want something from the audience.
That's right.
So at the end of the day, like that's still better than.
And the audience gave us a 4th screening,
which is great, And with back to the TIFF thing is because Silver Linings Playbook won in September, the last night of TIFF, they actually showed it for free. You just had to get in line hours before, and I was lucky to get that. So I hadn't seen a trailer or anything. I just heard like the people in it, and I heard it was a pretty good movie. And obviously because it won, it must have been pretty decent. I checked it out, and it was so much fun to watch. It's a very human story, and
the performances are just spectacular.
They're great, and it's just like the timing's great, and I've never heard an audience, it's rare to have this, where there's a moment, I would use the word mediocrity, where like as a victory in the movie, but the crowd just erupted with such happiness, you could feel it. Like not even the stars or directors or anybody was there promoting it, just the crowd was just like, it felt really good, and it was hard to top that feeling for movies. So like, I was hoping the Weinsteins could buy, the last couple of years their movies have won the Oscars. I was hoping they'd push it a bit more, but it looks like Argo's going to take it. But I also liked Argo.
Let's find out. I mean, we're a few days away from finding out. Or a few days ago,
you knew that Argo won Best Picture.
With Silver Linings Playbook, Lincoln, Les Mis,
Django Unchained,
Zero Dark 30,
and more. Beasts of Southern Wild did not win.
Won the Oscar.
And we're going to edit all this to say Argo won Best Picture.
I'm not editing crap, man.
Yeah.
You're going to take it, and you're going to like it.
Is there any performances or anything, or like Oscar-wise, that you look forward
to?
Honestly,
I like the night. I'm actually mostly looking forward to
Are you going to dress up? Watching it at home or whatever?
Yes, I think I'm going to wear a smoking jacket and a pipe.
I hear they're doing a celebration of Bond themes, or just Bond in general, at the Oscars this year.
That'd be pretty great.
Yeah, and like Adele's actually nominated and will win for. That's right, I said will win for Best Song for Skyfall. So I feel like she'll sing it.
Oh, I'm sure she will.
And like I hear Shirley Bassey is going to be there. There's a couple other singers that they might have as well, but so I feel like they're going to do a Bond number, which could be cool.
They're going to have Duran Duran.
I would love Duran Duran, or even
great.
Better, Aha, doing Living Daylights,
nice.
Which is a great song. But there's rumors. I hear one of them's a standout, like that won't. But they're trying to get all the Bonds to be there.
Shane Easton.
They're trying to get all the 6 Bonds to be on stage. But
interesting. I'd like to see a little Lazenby action.
But I hear there's rumors that one of them could be him, is a standout saying I don't want to do it, but it'd be cool. Or maybe they're trying to, segue.
Maybe someone's working.
No, maybe Daniel Craig's working, but otherwise I don't think. But yeah, no. So it's a fun night. I think Seth will be funny.
Maybe Roger Moore's too busy doing voiceovers for a new Saints series.
He's not. Yeah. But yeah, I think it's gonna be a fun night. I hope Seth is funny. And I just hope they keep it a tight night. But at the same time, I do hate when they cut him off at the speeches because they're like, say the heartfelt ones. I like the ones that are really like legitimately seem surprised rather than the, oh my god, I'm surprised I've won all the awards and I'm surprised.
Here's my written speech. But you know what? They all write a speech because they know that there's though there's a 10% chance or a 20% chance or whatever.
There's some people you can tell they're like, I didn't write a speech. But like if you're like say Anne Hathaway and Daniel Day-Lewis, if they act surprised when they win, I'd be a little upset because they've won every single award, which mathematically almost means they're a guarantee because it's almost a lot of these people are the same people voting that have voted for the other.
I'll still be interested to see what Spielberg's face is if he doesn't win Best Director, because the fact is like
that's actually a very good category because like if Ben had been nominated, he probably would have won, but now he's not even an option. I do hope David O. Russell wins.
I think that's a very good possibility.
I would love to see that.
Spielberg's been shut out quite a few years now. I mean, he's getting the nominations. He's just...
You can buy nominations.
Well, I mean, he's Spielberg. The fact is, it's going to be good direction. It's just whether it's the best.
It wasn't. Again, these are opinions, not facts.
Speaking of things that I think we've covered the Oscars.
So go see Silver Linings Playbooks and a movie that wasn't nominated, The Impossible. Check it out if you get a chance. Really good movie. I'm getting
Something that I find impossible to believe
is well played.
Well played. There's a certain
they
company.
May replace you soon.
There's a certain company out in the world today that is known for its sponsorship, that is known for its product, that is known to backing sports and performance people.
Gatorade?
Gatorade is one.
I like Gatorade.
Nike's another. And Nike, I think, has had a bit of a bad luck run in the last couple of years, and it's just come to prove...
They have such great shoes, though.
They have some great shoes, but a bad taste in the people that, they sponsor. For instance, you choose the best of a category.
Yeah.
But, and of course, you want to choose the best of the people who...
You want your face to represent, like, a brand of Nike.
But the problem is that it's not Nike's fault that Tiger Woods or Lance Armstrong... who, had a drug addiction, or...
I do want to talk about Lance.
Or Pistorius, the South African runner, who has a murder addiction. They've lost three sponsors. They've dropped three athletes because of...
they're poster guys,
They're poster guys for these sports, and then suddenly...
let me say this. Suddenly, Tiger's not looking so bad, is he?
No, Tiger's actually the least of the problems, isn't he?
He has a human addiction.
Lance's big reveal, which I don't know how many people are really surprised.
I think the
problem is the amount of times and the level in which he was so forcefully denying.
That's where I get upset. And the Livestrong thing. I know we kind of disagree on stuff, but the thing is, it was the amount of things he tested positive for. And in his interview with Oprah, I saw some of it. He was so cold. It was like this. It was a scary man.
What? When you're doing that interview, and she wants the big reveal. She's like, I'm going to do it on Oprah. But she's getting one thing. It's like you're about to admit that you just lied.
Your whole career,
So it was like, how else should you be? Sorry? Or, it's like, I don't think she was the best platform for it in the first place.
I didn't see a lot of compassion in it. Which is like, what he's doing isn't like... But it's just like, the reason for me is very tough, and I think it's a great organization, and it still can be, is Livestrong, is the guy promoting it, which the message about it was great, and it still is. But what he did, he cheated.
What he did was completely wrong, but in doing what he did, raised hundreds of millions of dollars towards cancer research.
Okay. Yeah.
So, you can't forget the good that came with the bad.
No, because he's done a lot of great.
You can't take. That money's not. No one's going to take away. It's like, I can't sponsor cancer research anymore. It's tainted money. You know what? I'd rather take blood money and give it towards the research of something so positive as to the eradication of cancer.
Can I throw this scenario out? I think the right thing to do is remove him, like any public figure of that. I'm not saying none of the money. Money is great.
No, it has to just remain a Nike-based promoted group.
Yeah,
and not have any particular performer or athlete be behind it. And occasionally you get someone who speaks on its behalf, but your face of the company is just not someone who in any way could eventually have such a tainted thing, like taking steroids or raping children. I mean, I'm not saying that the next person is going to be a pedophile, but I'm just saying that there's always the chance that one person is going to make a bad choice. They could
you can get a DUI, or you could do whatever, or
it's not even a DUI. Suddenly, you turned to you got distracted for 1 second, and you ran over a 10-year-old. And why am I focusing on killing children?
You can not unfollow him at that address.
I'm the Lindsay Lewis.
No, that's not no. But I think the right thing to do is strip any historical fact, his jackets and everything. Like the Wax Museum has taken away Lance Armstrong's.
Have they left him, but not the jacket? Did they scrape off the coat?
I don't know exactly, but they're working on something to have those removed. And I do believe that from that point in history, he did not win a single Tour de France because of the you cheat, you don't win.
How the problem is that they're saying that the top 30 in that sport were all doing it. So how do you can't give it to someone else? All you can do is remove the winner. You can't give it to second place before you prove that they also didn't use performance-enhancing drugs.
In 14 years, we're and the winner is number 24th place, first place. No, I think you can't have them be claimed in the history books as the champion of those years.
Sure, or you do the Mark McGwire thing and you put an asterisk, right? I mean, Mark McGwire won the baseball home run title, and then eventually, it wasn't necessarily steroids, but it was a human growth hormone of some form or another. And then, of course, down the road, it was steroids.
Suddenly, Mark's not looking so bad.
Yeah, suddenly Mark's not looking so bad. Or Roger
Tiger's
Clemens.
at a sex party right now. When Tiger was at a sex party and he heard all this Lance stuff.
He's like, yeah, I'm back in the good books.
He's like, yeah, as he's doing his thing. Which is great. So the Lance thing, it's a touchy subject. It's just when you're in the public eye, there's going to be scrutiny if you do something wrong, and that's going to be for anybody. Yeah. Yes, and it stinks that it happened. At the same time, for Liv
Still better than shooting your girlfriend 4 times.
Which is what we're about to get into.
Well, I don't know if you have to get into. I think that's as pretty much clear as it is. I mean, he's saying that he thought there was an intruder in the house, and he shot his girlfriend.
So say a little bit, just in case someone watching doesn't know what
Pistorius is the South African Blade Runner. He's an amputee who uses blades that are shaped specifically,
but they go forward.
They're pretty spectacular, and he was able to compete, obviously not just in the Special Paralympics, but also in the actual Olympics as a representative of South Africa.
I remember hearing the 2 stories
because he's almost as fast as a human while wearing these blades.
I remember the 2 stories I heard at the Olympics.
He's still human.
The 2 stories I heard was that, and also Usain Bolt. Those are the 2 stories that I got inspirational.
Of course.
And so the inspiration, that guy, he.
And then and my wife, of course, is like, oh, it's too bad. He's really good looking guy. His model girlfriend is also this gorgeous looking girl. And that's shit happens, I guess. I mean, it's you fight a little, you pull the trigger, and then you blame it on the burglar.
Was there any history before this happened of anything with the?
Apparently, there was a lot of shouting.
Okay, so he thought she was an intruder coming into his house or their home or where I
just say what I hear and read and watch on the news.
So the rumor,
he's asking for bail apparently right now. He's like, this is going on right now.
But he has a gun. Someone intrudes in his place, or he thinks, and ends up shooting his wife, girlfriend.
Yep.
Sorry. And now he's in jail.
Well, yeah, I guess so.
He was with Nike.
Was with Nike and dropped by Nike because, well, rightfully so. When you're sponsoring someone who's currently being prosecuted for murder,
Tiger's not looking so bad.
Tiger's looking great.
Sex addiction is okay.
Sex with other women? I mean, you know what happens?
12, 28 women.
You know who does that?
People. A lot of people.
A lot of people have sex with other women other than...
Even Lance is probably like... Whew.
Yeah, at least they got me on drugs.
Yeah.
I don't have to leave my wife just yet because of the girlfriends I have in every country.
Taking more shots. He's like, I'm ready to play baseball now or something.
Yeah.
New sport. You can't test. It's a new day. You can't test me for old stuff. Yeah. But anyways, it's a heartbreaking story.
And it's too bad.
It's really too bad, you know. So, not saying Nike's a bad shoe, but right now, you know, they might be looking for a new face.
Yeah.
So,
we didn't actually. Speaking of shooting your girlfriend, it was also Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Valentine's Day.
We're trying to bring some positive.
I want to bring something. Speaking of shooting my wife.
Your wife doesn't watch the show, Ryan. It's gonna be okay.
No, she doesn't watch.
And if she did, she just divorced you.
No. If she watched the show, she'd just sort of scoff and then move on.
She'd do the shoulder shrug.
He's being an idiot.
Yeah.
Yay! Did you do anything special for Valentine's? Did you tweet anything special or?
Not really. I basically, when I thought of Valentine's Day, it was the marketing of A Good Day to Die Hard, because their marketing was about Valentine's Day. So that's what I thought about this year's Valentine's Day.
Very nice. I bought things for my children and then
took them away. Love you. Give me your toy.
No, and then I took away. No. I mean, they got like a Valentine's Day gift, and I think my wife and I had dinner.
No ladies on the side?
No ladies on the side. Not this year. Mistress Day on the 13th, I think. What did I do?
Yeah,
was that with you, wasn't I?
I always thought, what a great day if it's just going wrong. Valentine's Day is a great day to admit if your marriage is not going good, to say, you know what? If we can't be happy on this day together, it's time to end.
I have an acquaintance who's dating two women. So.
Oh, really?
Yes, but both of them feel that it's exclusive.
Oh, they don't know? Oh, that's tough.
It's one thing to be thing to be dating, and you know that it's like, you know what, you're feeling it out. You're going on dates with, you know, it's like, oh yeah, I've seen this person a couple of times, I've seen this person a couple of times. Both of the people he's seeing think that they're exclusive. So the excuse for Valentine's for one, who was not the Valentine's night, was that he was just working and he had to work. And fine, he is in a job that can technically allow for this excuse. And of course, it's like, and what about the nighttime? He said, well, the nighttime is I got to wake up early the next day. Fine. So they got the day before, which is technically Mistress Day. You know, when you take out the girl you're sleeping with, but not your wife.
Fab 13. Does he like laugh about this and like, or does he feel bad?
Sort of both.
It's
a hard place to be.
I understand not being able to give either one up, but to be like, yeah, to brag, that's tough.
I promise you, I am not this person. This is.
You were getting tweets as they were
well,
saying
it's like yeah. It's like, I've got a friend. It's like, I am not this friend.
You're like, I had a wife.
I sleep with these women in front of my wife. It's
She knows.
She knows. She's taking the photos. And those are the ones being posted.
So it was a good Valentine's Day.
It was a great Valentine's Day. You got these great shots, my gut sticking out. It's like, this is awesome. This is so sexy. You have no idea.
Do you think he can keep going this way for long, or is it coming to an end where it's like?
No, I think he's got to. And I to be honest, I think he has to end it with both. He can't just end it with one.
I'm a terrible liar and I overthink things, so I wouldn't be able to last long in that situation. Maybe for a little while, but then
you got to drop both and start fresh.
Because too many lies start to intersect, and then
That's
you're like,
right.
your stories get mixed up, and one day by them or someone else, you're gonna get caught.
Well, that's the other thing, right?
Terrible.
The person you stay with might find out again about the other person. It's like, are you saying you were dating them while we were dating? You know, and then that point,
technically you weren't there.
And then that fight is a whole other story. So really, it's like,
is this worth it? And now he can start fresh with two new lies.
Yeah, that's right.
So yeah. I guess that's kind of.
I think that's a good place to end today.
February.
Hey, 5 to February.
What are you up to tonight?
Tonight is Friday.
Yes.
When you're watching this, tonight will have already happened. I will be seeing my parents for the first time in quite some time. They have a place down in Florida, and they've been spending some
alone time,
snowbird time in the south.
I linked it.
And they're finally coming home.
I'll be
roost. I think they've missed the grandkids a little too much.
Yeah, so they'll be excited.
What are you doing tonight?
I'm gonna do 4 hours of laser tag. I'm a grown ass man.
Suit up.
So suit up, and I guess I just like to say Happy Black History Month.
Happy Black History Month.
In today's world, people are busy and impatient. We are on information overload. Every minute counts. People want to know what you can do for them. They won't spend time reading or searching, but they will watch a video. If it clearly explains who you are and what you do and tells them what they want to hear, they will reach out to you. You have seconds to get people's attention. You want a video that is engaging and makes the viewer feel as though it is speaking directly to their needs. Add to your sales team a short video and let it do the heavy selling for you. Or add to your social media or wherever your audience is spending their time. Videos can pay back your investment 10 times over. So now that you've heard our message, let's talk about yours. Let's bring your image to life.